Have you ever found yourself scripting, visualizing, praying, and doing everything right, but your manifestation still is not showing up? You might just be gripping instead of aligning. See, there's a massive energetic difference between I desire this and I need this or I'm going to fall apart. The first is alignment. The second, well, that's attachment. And today we're going to unpack the spiritual, emotional, and even Kabbalistic difference between the two and how to shift into the energy that actually magnetizes miracles into your life. So, in this episode, I'll aim to help you spot the difference between aligned faith and fear-based obsession. I'll reveal how trauma, nervous system dysregulation, and subconscious programming all play a role in how you may or may not be manifesting. I'll offer spiritual and somatic tools to help you shift from clinging to the energy of allowing. And I will include a Kabbalistic lens on the soul's true vibration of desire. So let's get into it. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Together, we'll journey into your deepest authenticity. Because the more you align with who you truly are, the more effortlessly you call in the life that you desire and deserve. And most importantly, the more you step into your soul's highest purpose. Welcome to the Manifestation Method podcast, your number one source for Kabbalistic manifestation. Here we combine the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, modern psychology, and quantum physics to help you achieve real, tangible manifestation results with my proven Abra method. I'm Ayelet Polonsky, and I'm here to guide you on your journey of manifesting a life that is aligned, expansive, and deeply connected to your highest self through the sacred energetic mechanics of Kabbalistic manifestation. To learn how to use Kabbalistic manifestation to transform your life from the inside out, go to ayeletpolonsky.com or download the Manifestation Method app. Let's open the gates of manifestation together. Let's begin by defining the energetic difference between attachment and alignment, because we often confuse the two. We often confuse wanting with needing. And in the world of manifestation, that distinction changes everything. So let's unpack the frequency behind your desires, because what fuels the desire actually matters just as much as the desire itself. So let's first unpack what attachment is. So attachment is when your desire is tangled in fear. Attachment can often look like a tightness in the chest, a sense of urgency in the body, and a frantic need for certainty. So even as you say affirmations like, I am calling in the love of my life this year, if you're coming from a place of attachment, your nervous system might be whispering, or rather screaming, something that sounds like, you actually don't believe this is possible for you. See, attachment is not about the desire itself. It's not about the desire for love or financial abundance or health or connection or yada, yada, yada. Attachment is about the meaning that you've assigned to the desire that you have. So attachment often carries the unconscious belief that says, if I don't get this, I will be unsafe, unworthy, or unlovable. If I don't get the soulmate that I'm longing for, then I am unworthy, or I am unlovable, or it must mean something's inherently wrong with me, right? And this belief often comes from early wounding, such as fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, or a belief that joy must be earned or chased. So even though you might be taking the actions, it's sometimes driven by a frequency of lack if it's coming from attachment, right? It's the energy of grasping, not attracting. It's doing from fear rather than moving from power. So that's attachment. Alignment, on the other hand, is when your desire flows from a place of wholeness inside of you. Alignment feels like peace in your body and clarity in your mind. Alignment is you not trying to make it happen, but you're allowing it to come into form. So the belief with alignment here is, this is already mine on the energetic plane. All I need to do is align my actions and beliefs to match that truth. From this place of alignment, you're still taking inspired action, but you're not clinging to the outcome because you know that nothing that is truly meant for you is going to pass you by. And you also know that your desire is a divine instruction, not a threat to your very existence. And from a place of alignment, you're safe in the becoming, even before you receive the very thing that you desire. So alignment ultimately is magnetic. It's both surrendered and powerful. It's not passive. It's rather deeply trusting. So you still take action, but again, from inspired guidance, not from an inner space of panic or pressure. And so you're making moves through life, but with an energy of, I am intending to manifest XYZ or something better, and I'm coming from a place of already being whole and complete without it. So the real zinger here, or a quote that I love to have you take away to help lock this understanding in more deeply is, attachment is when you want something to complete you. Alignment is when you want it to express you. And this is the energetic shift that changes your entire manifestation field. When you move from needing it in order to feel okay to knowing that you're okay, and from that place, it can come when it's meant to come because you're showing up as a clear channel. You're showing up as a vibrational match for what it is that you desire. And in this way, you become magnetic. Let's talk a little bit now about how trauma creates attachment energy. The two are very much linked. Attachment and trauma are kind of like brother and sister, right? Because we don't manifest from our conscious desires, but rather we manifest according to our subconscious beliefs. So I might be saying I want to manifest X amount of money, but deep down, my subconscious belief might be, I don't actually believe I'm worthy of having that amount of financial abundance. And so we manifest according to our subconscious beliefs, not whatever it is we're declaring to the universe that we want. And the subconscious is actually shaped by the past, not the present. So when you were young, your nervous system was like wet clay. It was soft, it was impressionable, and it absorbed every single signal about what it meant to be safe, loved, and enough. So if love was inconsistent, if safety was fragile, if you learned that your worth came from conditions, then your system adapted and it began to grip, to cling, to chase. And that gripping didn't disappear just because you grew up and became an adult. But rather now as an adult, your desire might look like a dream, a vision, an ideal, but underneath that dream, there's a wound, a fear that whispers, what if it never comes? So you may be manifesting the life partner, but not from joy, but rather to soothe the ache of childhood abandonment. Or you may be calling in money, but not from creativity and self expression, but rather from anxiety that it might disappear. Or you might be chasing visibility and impact, but not from a place of service, but rather to finally feel seen by the world in a way that your younger self never was. This is attachment energy. It's the frequency of grasping, of needing something outside yourself in order to regulate the pain that lives within. And here's the kicker. If your words say, I'm calling this in, whatever that this is, XYZ, I'm calling this in, your body might actually be saying something else. Your body might be saying, I'm not safe unless I get that very thing that I desire. And that's why no manifestation work is complete without trauma healing and nervous system regulation. Because if your foundation is shaky, then even the most beautiful affirmation can't land on a shaky foundation, right? Your inner child will reject what you say with your mouth if it doesn't match what they've always felt in your body. So here's where the real work begins. Here's a prompt. Okay? Ask yourself, what am I afraid would happen if I don't get this thing? And underneath that, ask yourself, what am I truly seeking from it? Is it love, safety, evidence or proof that I actually matter? When you start to meet the need beneath the need, when you soothe the root rather than chase the symptom, you shift from attachment to alignment. And from there, your manifestation field becomes no longer a battleground, but rather a mirror, a homecoming, a match for who you are at your core. And so let's get radically honest here for a second, okay? What are some signs that you're in attachment energy? Okay, let's hone this concept in a little bit more deeply so that we really get it, because this can get really deep, right? Sometimes what we call manifestation is actually just anxiety in disguise. Okay, really let that sink in for a second, because I know so many of my listeners are eager to manifest that thing they want, and God knows I want that for you. But we got to get honest. Are you calling it in from a place of wholeness? Or is what you're calling in actually just anxiety in disguise? Because it might look spiritual on the outside, everything that you're doing, right? The vision boards, the affirmations, the visualizations, but underneath, the energy might be frantic. There might be a grip, a grasp, a quiet panic. Where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? What am I doing wrong? So you tell yourself you're aligned, but deep down, your nervous system is running a marathon. So here's how you know that you've slipped out of trust and into attachment. Maybe some signs are that you are obsessively refreshing your phone, your inbox, your bank account, hoping that the thing will just show up already. You're maybe replaying conversations in your mind over and over again. Or maybe you're overanalyzing every affirmation, asking yourself, did I visualize it the right way? Did I believe hard enough? Did I block it somehow? Am I doing something wrong? Right? You start to meddle. You start subtly manipulating people, pushing timelines, rearranging your life like chess pieces, trying to control the outcome. Maybe you feel a pinch of resentment when someone else gets that very thing that you've been praying for years. Or maybe you smile to the universe and say, I'm high vibe. But inside, you're spinning, you're doubting, you're comparing, you're clenching. This is what it looks like when your body doesn't trust what your mouth is saying. This is what happens when manifestation is driven by fear, not faith. Because here's the truth. The more you chase it, the more you affirm it's not already yours. I'm going to say that again because it's so profound and so true. The more you chase it, the more you affirm it's not already yours. So you're, in essence, chasing the very thing you want away from you. Chasing is the opposite of receiving. When you chase, you create distance between you and the very thing you desire. But when you trust, your frequency becomes magnetic. The moment you notice the grasp, the need, the spiritual panic, it's not a failure. It's a signal. It's a gentle nudge to pause, to soften, to return. And remember that ultimately, nothing real can be taken from you. That what is yours will always find you. And that alignment doesn't require hustle. It only requires wholeness. And if you find yourself stuck in some of this attachment evidence that I've been sharing here, don't loop into this story that there must be something wrong with me because clearly I'm in attachment. Again, see it as a gentle nudge, a signal to just soften right here, right now. We all can get stuck in this trap of chasing, of attachment, right? You're not alone. I'm sure every single person listening today has gotten stuck in that attachment, in that chase at some point or another. Maybe we're stuck in it more often than we'd like. I myself find myself stuck in that chase every once in a while, and I don't beat myself up for it, God forbid. I see it, I feel in my body somatically, okay, there's that chase. I feel it. It's bubbling up inside of me. It's causing burnout. It's causing anxiety. It's causing overwhelm. There's the information that my body, and my body always tells me the truth, that my body is asking for me to return back to my essence. So it's simply about having an honest conversation with yourself, right? And now let's talk a little bit about what alignment actually feels like. Okay, let's shift gears into this realm. So after all of the gripping, the overthinking, the spiritual anxiety dressed up as control, what does true alignment actually feel like in your body? It feels like a deep exhale. Feels like unclenching your jaw after years of grinding your teeth through life. It's that moment when your nervous system whispers, oh, we're safe now. Alignment isn't about proving or forcing or performing. It's magnetic because it's rooted in trust. Not just trust in the universe, but trust in yourself. It's that moment that you no longer outsource your safety to some future outcome. It's that moment that you stop holding your breath until that very thing arrives. Instead, you exude the quiet confidence of someone who knows it's on its way. I don't need to chase it to prove that it's real. Alignment sounds like, I trust this is unfolding for me, even if I can't see how. I don't need to know the timing. I just know that it's inevitable. And even before it arrives, I'm already living in the energy of it. Aligned manifestation is a state of knowing that doesn't depend on evidence. It's simply a frequency that you become before the thing even touches down in your own reality. And in actual practice, you stop hustling to force divine timing. You instead take inspired action from a place of joy, not desperation. And from this inner space, you're able to celebrate others without shrinking because their win just proves that miracles are in the neighborhood. So here you play, you receive, you let go without losing hope. And when the doubts come, you don't panic, but rather you pause, you breathe, you recalibrate, because you're floating now. You're not swimming upstream. You're not exhausted from trying to control the current. You're gliding alongside the current. You're trusting it. You're letting it carry you somewhere beautiful. I often like to visualize myself in order to access that state of alignment as though I'm floating downriver, right? I'm allowing the river to take me. Whereas attachment, on the other hand, is swimming upstream and then wondering why you're always exhausted. So this is your invitation to let go of the grip and step into the flow. Because in alignment, you don't chase what's meant for you. You meet it, fully present when it arrives. And let's take this idea a little bit deeper. Let's give it a bit of a Kabbalistic perspective, right? Because in Kabbalah, desire isn't a flaw. There's nothing wrong about desire. It's not something to tame or silence or transcend. Desire is holy, according to Kabbalah. In fact, it's the very force through which all of creation unfolds. So desire is the vessel. And the vessel determines what kind of light you can hold. But there is a spiritual catch. So Kabbalah teaches that not all desire is created equal. In fact, there are two types of desire. The first is the desire to receive for the self alone. Right? This is ego-based desire. It's rooted in lack, urgency, self-focus. It's the kind of desire that clings and grasps and says that I need this to feel worthy. I need this to be okay. If I don't hold on to all of my resources, there's not going to be enough to go around, right? But from a mystical perspective, this kind of vessel can't hold true light. Why? Because it's already full. It's full of fear, full of doubt, full of control, full of ego. So you're not creating spaciousness in your vessel for the real light to come through. Right? So that's the first type of desire. The second type of desire, according to Kabbalah, is known as the desire to receive in order to share. Now, this is soul-based desire. It's expansive, it's trusting, it's generous. This desire says, I welcome this blessing not to prove my worth, but to express it. This desire says, I want more love so that I can radiate more love. Or I want abundance so that I can share that abundance, so I can uplift others. Right? This kind of desire, this is what the light is drawn to. Right? It's literally what activates in Kabbalah what's called the koach hamoshech, the power that draws that very thing towards you. So that kind of desire to be of service as a result of the abundance that you have is a magnetic frequency, right? Because the light or the divine energy, the spiritual abundance, the creative power can only flow into a vessel that is ready, that is expanded. And again, ready does not mean hustling harder. Ready means the complete opposite. It means softening. It means emptying. It means trusting, right? It means you're no longer trying to fill a void with manifestation, but you're allowing manifestation to flow into your wholeness so that there becomes more than enough to go around, right? In Kabbalah, manifestation is not about getting more. It's about becoming more. Becoming your truest self, your most radiant, aligned, soul-connected self, and then letting the light rush in as a natural result of that alignment. Remember, the light can only fill what is empty of ego and full of trust. Take that as an affirmation with you. So if you're gripping, you're closing the vessel. But if you're in your soul's essence, if you're rooted in truth and trust and purpose, then you become magnetic. Not because you chased it, but because you finally became a safe place to receive it in your own system. And so this is the sacred art of Kabbalistic manifestation. It's about letting go of what you think you need so you can receive what your soul truly came here for. Right? And there's a shift that happens when we go from clinging to trusting. Right? There comes a moment on one's manifestation journey when you realize that you don't have to grip in order to receive. You don't have to push, to prove, to force your way into your desires. You can relax into them. You can let your life be guided, not just by vision, but by trust. But to do that, you have to make a radically energetic shift, right? From clinging to allowing, from fear to faith, from proving to becoming, or rather knowing that you are already whole and that there's nothing wrong with you. This is the work of remembering who you truly are. At your core, you are already worthy. At your core, you are already deserving. At your core, you are already enough. It's about releasing all the layers of evidence that you think you've gathered your whole life to make a case around your unworthiness. No, you are worthy. It's about remembering who you truly are. Once you remember who you truly are, your whole system gets to rest in that knowing, right? So how do we make this shift in practical terms? There's a few steps that you can take, or I'll guide you through, to start to embody this transformation. Step one is to acknowledge the fear beneath the grip, right? Because clinging always has a root, right? It's not because you're too much or not spiritual enough. It's because a younger part of you learned that love, success, or safety only came with struggle. So start there, gently and honestly. Get honest with yourself about what is at the root of the gripping, and then say it out loud. It might sound like, I'm afraid I'll always be alone, or I'm scared I'll never feel seen, or I'm worried that I'm not enough. Give that fear space, not to indulge it, but rather to witness it. Because what you witness with love is what you begin to liberate. So that's step one. Acknowledge the fear. Step two, regulate the nervous system. You cannot receive from a place of fight or flight. Manifestation doesn't land in a clenched body. So before you try to think positively, send a message to your system that it's safe now. Literally, I talk to my body all the time, and I teach my kids to tell their bodies, I am safe in my own body. Right? This can actually look like different modalities such as breath work, taking a walk outside, literally shaking out the stress and the trauma, meditating, crying, dancing, anything that brings your body out of survival mode and into a state of presence. Because trust isn't just a thought. You don't convince yourself into trust. It's a felt sense that I am okay here and I am safe in my body. And step three is to play with the feeling of already having it, that thing that you desire. Now that the fear has been seen and the body softened, you can begin to enter the energy of your manifestation, right? This is where the fun stuff comes in, but we got to first do the prerequisites to get to the manifestation work, right? So entering into the energy of your manifestation is done not in a performative way, but in a playful, embodied way. So you can ask yourself, if my manifestation was already here, how would I feel? Would you be grounded, grateful, confident, peaceful? And let yourself feel that now in your body, even if it's just a few moments. Because the more you anchor into that frequency, even if it's just for a few moments, the more you become a match for what you're calling in. And step four is let go of the how. This is really hard for some people, but it is crucial. Let go of the how. This is the holy exhale. This is the trust fall. So say it like a prayer, like a mantra, like a reclamation. Say to yourself, my only job is to become the version of me who receives this. The how is none of my business. Because when you're aligned, the how reveals itself. But when you cling to control, you block the magic. All you need to focus on is what you want and why you want it. right? Let the creator take care of the how. Stop interfering with the creator's territory. Take your hands off the steering wheel and trust that the path will unfold right before your eyes. And a beautiful journal prompt that I like to have my clients do when doing this type of work of shifting from clenching to unclenching is journal the answer to the question, who am I becoming through this desire? And what qualities am I being invited to embody? Who am I becoming through this desire? And what qualities am I being invited to embody? And take your time to answer this question. Because maybe this desire is not here to torture you. Maybe it's here to transform you and be your greatest alchemizer. Maybe it's here to invite you into your next evolution, right? And that's the secret here. Manifestation isn't just about having. It's about becoming. It's the journey of who I'm becoming on this journey towards manifesting all the things that I am inherently worthy of having. So you can relax your grip, you can open your heart, and you can step into the version of you who is already ready to receive. And so, why don't we take this into like a very short somatic spiritual integration process so you can actually feel in your body what this feels like to be in the non-attachment of the thing that you desire. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and just make sure that you are not driving a vehicle. It'll be a very short practice where you just place one hand on your heart and one hand on your womb or belly. Good. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth with a sigh to activate your vagus nerve. And with your eyes closed or open, if that feels safer, say out loud, I choose to trust the timing. I am open, I am ready, and I am already worthy. I do not chase what is mine. I welcome it. And feel the resonance of these words vibrating in your body as truths. Feel what even a few seconds of entertaining this frequency of detachment feels like in your system. Beautiful. And that's such a short, deep, and simple practice that can already bring ease and grace to your nervous system. Beautiful. And before we wrap up this episode, I want to take a moment to invite you into something really special. So if this episode resonated with you, and if you've ever found yourself gripping tightly to your desires or chasing love, chasing money or purpose, from a place of fear rather than a place of trust, then I've created something just for you. It's called the Manifestation Method Membership. And it's where we take everything that I talk about here. We talk about energetics, nervous system healing, subconscious rewiring, Kabbalistic wisdom, visualization, inner child work, and we actually integrate it into your daily life. And so just to know, it's not just another quick fix or another course, because there's no such thing as a quick fix. This is a living, breathing container that supports you in becoming the version of yourself who effortlessly receives the love, the abundance, the health, and the joy that already exist for you. And inside the membership, you'll receive the best of all of the material that I've put together, and it's stuff that you can't find anywhere else on the internet. It includes monthly workshops and activations to help you align your energy. I share tools for releasing trauma and regulating your nervous system. I share a ton of guided visualizations, meditations, journal prompts, affirmations. And you'll be a part of a soulful community that's going to walk the path alongside you. Because let's face it, you're not meant to do this alone. And you'll receive real-time support from me and my team so that as you learn how to trust, surrender, and receive, not to mention I come on once a month and I do a live workshop with you and answer all of your questions. I also answer your questions directly inside the membership app, right? So we go really deep, we get real, and we rise together as a community. It's a beautiful community of like-minded individuals who are really sincere in their journey, their growth. So if you're ready to stop manifesting from fear and to really start magnetizing from faith, you can find out more information about this membership. Just go to ayeletpolonsky.com. And remember, your desires aren't random. They're a preview of what's possible. So this membership is here to help you become the version of you who can receive your best life with so much ease, grace, and flow. I really like to get to know every single individual who's in the portal, in the membership. So if you do decide to join and this resonates with you, there'll also be a link in the footnotes of this episode below. I'm excited to see you inside. Please introduce yourself to me so that I can get to know you on a personal level. And a closing invitation. Here's what I really want you to walk away with. You never have to grip for what is divinely yours, ever. In fact, the moment you stop trying to control it is the moment you become a magnet for it. Really, the greatest flex of faith is your ability to surrender. So this week, practice becoming the version of you who no longer needs to chase. Just embody, align, and let it come to you. And if this episode stirred something in you, if it helped you shift from clinging to trusting, or if it gave you even a deeper understanding of how to align with your desires, I invite you to please share it with a friend, share it with someone you love, maybe a friend who's also on their manifestation journey, or maybe someone who's been stuck in attachment energy and just needs a gentle nudge back to their aligned truth, right? We rise faster together. And your simple act of sharing could be the exact spark that someone else needs to realign with their own inherent power. So please take a screenshot, text it to a friend, and post it on social media and tag me in it. I genuinely love seeing who's listening and knowing what's landing for you. So be in touch. Don't be a stranger. Thank you for being here, for doing this sacred inner work, and for choosing alignment over fear. Until next time, stay open, stay trusting, and stay rooted in your worth. Your desires are already on their way. Here's to your rising. If you enjoyed this episode, let's keep the conversation going inside the Manifestation Method Portal app, your #1 destination for Kabbalistic manifestation. Inside, you'll unlock the secrets of manifestation through my proven Abra method, rooted in Kabbalah, psychology, and quantum physics, designed to help you manifest real, tangible results from the inside out. Join our global community of manifestors, explore our signature courses, monthly live manifestation workshops with me, Ayelet, and access our transformational hypno activations and attunements to rewire limiting beliefs and align with your soul's purpose. The app is available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To sign up, head over to ayeletpolonsky.com. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Let's manifest the life you desire and deserve together.